another edition of He Said, She Said with Libby and
Stafford.
Hi. You can get a hold of us and listen on geekpublicradio.com or get the Live 365 app and look for Geek Public Radio and listen to us there. Tonight we have a few different topics, but before that, if you do have any song choices you'd like for us, you can send us a text at 278-8661 or hit us up on the Facebook He Said, She Said page. Our topics this evening are going to be hopefully kind of fun. We have had some responses to that, so we'll go from there.
I'm going to wind up divorced.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Because the topics, 2 of the 3 that we are speaking about, were brought on by your lovely wife.
Yeah, I know it's a trap.
It is not a trap.
It is totally a trap.
It is not a trap.
Yes, it is.
No. It's a twap.
It is.
No. But they're valid points. I mean, but as women, we know how to argue, so it's not real hard to come up with topics. So there's that.
Wait.
But anyway, what our topics are is, using sex as a reward or a punishment, and by that, I don't mean, welcome to Mr. and Mrs. Gray. I mean, if you're, mad at somebody and you're like, well, then you're just not getting any, or, well, if you do this what I want, then no, that we're going to talk about that. Also, differences in the techniques of the art of arguing. Whether
is it an art form?
It can be.
I thought debate was an art form. I don't know.
It's kind of like an art form. You learn to use swords. You learn to use words. As my husband found out when he put our teenage daughter in debate class, that was a fun one. I said, you just taught her how to win every argument ever. So we have that, but the difference is whether you're one of those people that you just walk away from it and leave it alone, or whether you are one of those people that will, like a little chihuahua, chase them out the door, barking at the heels.
Yep.
Yeah. So, in mine is if I close the door and I close you out and you come through it, there's likely something going to come flying at your head. And then, the last one that we'll touch on, and this has hit so many couples that I know, is discussing children before marriage. And I don't mean children out of wedlock, because let's be honest, I'd be cutting off my own nose on that one. What I mean is, when you are in a committed relationship with someone, and you're thinking, I'm going to marry this person, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with them. You want children, or you don't want children. You should probably find out what they want before you guys decide to make that major commitment, or it's going to be
a hell of a sticking point.
It's going to be a fatal flaw. I mean, it just is, because somebody is going to wind up, quote unquote, compromising by just giving up what they want.
Right.
So, and we'll go more into that a little bit later. But like I said, right now we're just going to start with the first one, and I'm guessing we'll just start with the reward punishment aspect of it.
I would say that using sex as a weapon, because that's basically what you're doing.
Exactly.
That is totally unfair.
It is. I would agree. And I know a lot of women that do it, and I'm the first woman to yell at the TV going, you're so wrong, don't do that. Like, it isn't. It's not okay for the man to do it, and it's not okay for the woman to do it. It's just not okay to do it. Like, if you're, say you're in an argument, and you'd had a date already, and you planned on making it this nice romantic evening, and all of a sudden one of you just starts a stupid fight, so now you're just out of the mood, that's one thing.
Right.
But to be like, you didn't give me the puppy I wanted, so guess what, buddy? There's the couch. Like, that's not okay.
For weeks at a time.
Right, or months, or whatever.
Right.
I mean, that's dumb. Like, my husband and I tease about it, but there's never been a time we have or ever will.
Well, and there's a difference in doing it, like, playfully and stuff, because I think everybody, teases in that way.
Right.
But personally, at some point, I'd have to look at it like, it's been 2-3 months. I'm just saying, not that it's ever happened to me, but I just the way that I would look at it would be, it's been 3 months, and say you're arguing over whether or not you can get a goddamn puppy,
right?
And you're not getting it from me, so where are you getting it?
That's one way you can think of it. I mean, but there's also not that they're getting it anywhere else. It's just they're like, well, I can survive with it. Let's see how long you can. I can survive without it. How long can you survive without it? That's the way I would think.
Right.
Not, oh, you're getting it somewhere else, but it's like, oh, challenge accepted. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, because I'm stubborn. Anyone ever tried to pull that crap with me, I'd be like, okay, well, this is going to be a years-long drought.
Right.
Because if you want to play that game, then I'm just going to say, bank's closed. Bank is closed. We're done. We're shutting this shit down.
We're no longer accepting deposits.
No deposits accepted at all. Not even at the ATM. None.
Wow.
That's just how it is.
Ooh.
It is. I don't play that dumb shit. Like,
No,
I
I wouldn't either. I mean,
there's no way to have a healthy relationship if it's a constant power struggle, and that's all that is.
right.
That is a power struggle.
Yeah.
Whether it's the male end or the female. And honestly, sadly, ladies, sorry, it's most of the time us pulling that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't think a man would ever be like, no, I don't want to have sex. I just don't. What do you think?
There's been a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah, there's been a couple of times.
Were you just so mad?
Well, and not even that. Just either. I mean, and just aside from like not feeling good or whatever, but it wouldn't take a lot of like, oh, come on, and okay, well, what the hell, it. There's been a couple times, yeah. Most of the time, if I wasn't in the mood, done it anyway.
Right.
Because you don't want the well to dry up.
No, you're like, okay, it's fine. Talk me into it. You
right.
said yes. So, but yeah, just like...
Is that your knee? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. My bad. But, it's... You can't... Because that is a form of manipulation and control in my book.
Yeah.
It's what it is. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's not a game. Not if you want a relationship to last more than a year.
Right.
Because someone's only going to put up with that for so long.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's, like Ron White said, I'm a pretty good dog, but if you don't pet me every once in a while, it's hard to keep me under the porch.
Right.
And after a while...
Yeah. You're just going to get sick of it. And just be like, okay, then why am I here? And I'm not saying it's all about sex, because relationships are way more than that, but it is an integral part if you have an intimate relationship with someone. If you
have that kind of a head game going on, or what have you, then you've already got other problems that may or may not have been already revealed or explored. Mm-hmm. So it's going to start snowballing at that point.
Because if you get away with one, it's just going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you may have not had control on anything in your life, and now you've got that little bit of control, and then it snowballs. It just, it's bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's, until you get yourself figured out, you are not going to be happy in any relationship.
Right. And when, especially, like, say when you get married, you've committed to this one person. This is the one person you'll have sex with for the rest of your life.
Rest of your life.
What happens when they quit having sex? It's like,
right.
So this is a
certain company. That's all
this is a loyalty test. What is this? I mean, it. Okay.
Yeah, and it's different if there's like a health reason.
Right.
That person can't, whether it's on the male or the female side. That is one thing. It's another just to be like, no, but I'm not letting you go because you're not getting it anywhere else. But I mean, if you're just hanging on to it for those selfish reasons. Like, I want this part of the marriage because the bills are paid and there's someone to come home to and it's comfortable and it's convenient, but I don't want to touch you and I don't want you to touch me because I didn't get my way.
Right.
But if I get my way, then okay, I'll give it to you once in a while. Like, it doesn't...
Yeah,
if you use it as a bartering or leverage tool, it's no longer a benefit of a relationship. It puts a strain on the relationship.
Right. Absolutely. I had a gal one time tell me that she's like, well, I just don't feel womanly. I just don't feel pretty. I'm like, I would love to show you,
right, how I think you're very womanly.
I don't know what else to do. I mean, there's other things to do, but if it's I don't know. I mean,
and there again, that's the mental health aspect of it. That's you've got to get. And it's taken me a lot of years, and I still struggle with it, to look in the mirror and say, I look okay today, or, oh, I'm actually pretty today. Right. I'm 44, and I'm still struggling with it, And I know that's me. My husband tells me every day that, oh, you're hot, you're beautiful, and usually I just flip him off, because, I'm nice like that. I'm so sweet.
Right.
I'm like lemonade. But...
With vodka in it.
Right. It's taken me a long time, so I know that part of it. It's like, because you don't feel it, and if you get in that frame of mind, nothing anyone says to you is going to change it.
Right.
then you're just going to feel attacked because everyone's telling you you're wrong. You know, that you're not seeing things correctly. You're wrong. It's like, no, this is how my distorted brain sees things, and I know that it's distorted.
Right, but how do you help somebody come back from that though? Because I couldn't figure out how to help her, and we wound up breaking it off. So
yeah,
you know, I wouldn't.
With me, it's honestly, it's not exactly kid glove, but it's, you know, don't tell me, oh, you're wrong, you're that's bullshit or whatever. It's, you know, show me every day, like my husband's awesome. He'll come, he'll hold my hand, you know, or he'll rub my back, or he'll want to be seen with me, or he'll, you know, tell the guys at work, or, you know, come home and tell me that the guys at work tell him every single day, how the hell did you get hurt? Like, right. You know, that kind of thing. And so it's just like those little bitty compliments that are over and over and over, they just kind of sink in and stick with you. And it's repetition, I guess. And I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm needy or anything like that. I don't fish for compliments and they embarrass me. And I get all awkward. So
yeah, I mean, I used to get the you know, the whole not felt like there was fishing for compliments, but you know, I'd offer the compliments, and then, you know, after it shot down so often with her, then I just said, you know, okay, I just kind of gave up, you know.
All right, well, it's about that time. We're getting ready to play some music for you, and then we'll be back here in just a few minutes, and we'll finish on this topic and get on the other ones. Welcome back to He Said, She Said on this fine, beautiful Wednesday evening. We've been talking about first the using sex as a reward or punishment, which we kind of wound down on that unless anyone sends any questions or comments. Text us at 278-8661 or go to Facebook page and go to the GPR He Said, She Said and go from there, and you can ask there and we'll get with those and we can comment, answer, joke, you know, whatever. It's kind of what we do. So right now, we'll go ahead and I'm going to kind of mix it up a little bit because the one was mentioned last, but I want to talk about it now because it's kind of a shorter segment, and I think that, you know, the whole argument techniques is going to take a little while, so we might save some room for that one because, whew, it might cause some argument techniques to come out. So what we'll do now is this discussing the children before you get married. And if you didn't hear it before, like I said, I don't mean children out of wedlock, you know, because my oldest, one of my biggest blessings in my life was a child out of wedlock, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So there's no way on earth I would say anything about that. But what I am saying is when you are in a committed relationship with someone and you're like, oh my gosh, the birds and the bees are so beautiful and I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person, it's all rainbows and sunshine, you should probably figure out the big decisions first. You know, oh, what state you want to live in, do you want pets, you know, and then do you want children? Because if you're both not on the same page and you get married anyway, that is a kettle waiting to boil over.
Seen it time and time again.
Yes,
several
times. It causes divorce and it causes hatred,
animosity, resentment. Yeah,
especially if you stay married to that person. And like I said, I've known people who were married for 60 years and wound up hating this person because I grew up old and alone because you didn't want kids. This is your fault. No, it's your fault because you didn't ask. When y'all got married, you didn't say, do you want kids? Because I do. Or I don't want kids, so don't expect it.
It takes two to tango,
yeah.
And you want kids, and you know he or she didn't. Well, you probably should have figured that out before you got married. And if it's that big a sticking point, it's time to go.
Yeah, if that is one of your
clock's ticking.
Yeah, if that's one of your major sticking points of I want children, and the man or woman that you are with does not want children, well, you know, there are those people like my daughter and her boyfriend, fiance, they both never wanted kids because she used to help watch my son, and she just flat told me, he made me sterile, I don't want kids. So you know, she never wanted them, and then they had little Miss Bella, and everything has changed. Now they're to the point where we don't want any more, you know, they're still at that, but
give it 6 months.
But you can't expect that from everyone. Sometimes when people say, I don't want kids,
they mean it.
They don't, because either A, something in their life has been totally messed up, or they know themselves well enough to know I'm too selfish to have children.
Well, and there's some people that want to have kids that you just know probably shouldn't.
Yeah, there's those. But, those aren't the ones that where you're the one you have to talk them out of it. Like, no, you really shouldn't.
Yeah.
And they'll probably have 12.
Yeah.
But if like I said, and I know a woman who, when she got married, she married an older man that already had grown children because she said, I don't want to have kids. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't want to have any more. Mm-hmm. She's like, I'm way too selfish. I like to have nice things. I like to pick up and go when I want. I like to, if I want to pick up an extra shift, I don't worry about it. If I want to, go to Hawaii, I don't worry about it. I go. You board the dog, get on a boat and go.
Right.
So, you can have every situation, but don't get married to this person and expect it to change. Like, okay, say it's the woman. She wants the baby and the man doesn't. Mm-hmm. She's on birth control. And then decides, I want that baby, so I'm going to stop taking the birth control and not tell him. Right. That's not okay.
No.
And you can't expect him to be okay with it when you're like, oh, honey, I'm pregnant. Like, because that's going to be one hell of an argument. That is going to be a fight of the ages. Mm-hmm. And same as if it's with the guy. If she doesn't want kids and all of a sudden you mistakenly have an oopsie, moment, an oopsie on purpose moment, and she's pregnant, don't expect her to be like, oh my God, I'm glowing, I'm so pregnant, as she's holding her head out of the toilet. Like, it's not going to happen. Right. In fact, she's probably going to want to murder you. Because she wasn't planning on it because she didn't want it. So, and if you don't, it just causes so many fights, so much drama.
Nothing as bad as the gal I knew that she wanted to get pregnant and her husband didn't, mm-hmm. and they'd gotten married later in life, and when she turned up pregnant, then the husband says, "Oh, so when are you moving out?" Well, what do you mean? Well, I had a vasectomy 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So I know it ain't me.
Exactly. He's like, there's a reason I said I wouldn't have any more kids because I'm not. Yeah. Yeah. But on the other side of that, too, being in the medical that I am, there have been people who have had babies after having a vasectomy.
Yeah, I've heard of that. But...
So whether they've had the reversal done or not, it's just like, my mom had a tubal done right after me. I have a little sister.
Right.
Things happen, so nothing other than abstinence is 100%. And if you're married, abstinence is probably not your best plan. So, it's just good to be informed. It's good to talk it out. Mm-hmm. And if you have this problem before you get married, talk about it. And, maybe one of you will change your mind because you realize, what, I don't want to be without you, so I will... No, I don't want to say make a sacrifice, but you will put, your own fear, if it's what it is or whatever, on that back burner.
Yeah.
I know that my ex-husband and I had talked about it a lot because his children, one was born with cerebral palsy, another was born with a brain tumor that wound up, taking his life. And so he was very scared to have it. Mm. But that's one of those things that we had talked before we got married, and I said, I want kids. And he was like, well, I do too. Well, then when I come pregnant, that's when he freaked out.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is something we talked about. So we can't go the route of, oh, you didn't say. This was my hard line. Like, if you don't want kids, well, then beat it. Because I do. I love my kids. So, I don't know. I don't understand the manipulative things that people do. By saying I do or don't, and then once you get married, it all of a sudden flips, and the other person's like, whoa, that's not what we discussed.
Right.
That,
I don't understand that. That's...
if of course, we'd love to hear your stories. If anyone out there has any stories like that, or anything to comment on something like that, love to hear from you. But like I said, it is, in my opinion, it's something that should definitely be talked about and agreed upon by both parties before you enter a committed relationship or just all of a sudden show up pregnant.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to flip the script on that after after the rings go on.
No supplies. No, not on that one. You want to surprise me, bring me flowers or a puppy. Don't
Right.
Don't come and say, guess what? We're having another child. No, you are, and I'm going that way.
Because at some point, if it's a woman that's wanting kids, at some point she's going to say, you know what, you won't put a baby in my belly, but somebody will.
Yeah.
And clock's ticking.
Yeah. Especially when they hit their 30s, and that biological clock is going tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock fast. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because isn't it at like 40, you have a higher chance of
very high risk.
There being some issues? And
after 40, it's very high risk. In your 30s, it is high risk. Like I said, when I had my son, I was in my 30s, and my sister was in her 30s with her last one, and they're very stressful.
Yeah.
Just because your body's like, what in the heck? We did this a long time ago. I don't understand what you're playing at right now.
Well, that's like my wife told me she got pregnant with Avery.
Which, by the way, awesome little girl, love her to pieces, little pixie.
Yeah, she's something. Oh Lord, my attitude to a combination of me and her mother. Good God, what have we unleashed on the world?
Perfection. My minion, we will take over the world.
But just the difference between, I think it wound up being about it was like an 7-8 year difference between the last time she was pregnant and when she was pregnant with Avery.
Yeah.
And just the difference in her body, from the 20s to the 30s. Because we decided early on, if she's not pregnant by like 35, then we're gonna
not worry about it. Yeah.
Because we don't want to run the risk. And she got pregnant, and we weren't really trying, but we weren't not trying. Right. And it wound up just being
stars aligned, and there she is.
I got jumped before I went to work.
Well, there you go.
And so it was just a scheduling conflict that I was working on the days that
Well, there you go.
So
that's one good thing about the prison system. You got the baby girl out of it.
That's about the only thing.
Right. But yeah, it's just I had a thought, it went away, but it's fine. I was gonna say, yeah, when I had my kids, they were exactly 10 years apart.
Yeah.
Like, apparently, I'm only fertile every decade. I don't know how this works. I'm like a turtle or something. But, I had, my daughter, and I was 20 and turned 21. I had my son. I was 30, turned 31, and all this. And it was so much harder the second time because my body was, like I said, it'd been 10 years. So I'm just like, what in the world? So you have to take so much extra medication and so much extra everything and be careful with this and be careful with that. And everyone else in the world was always like, I felt so glowing, You know who says that? People who aren't pregnant. Because I don't feel like I'm glowing when my head is in the toilet, when my ankles are swollen, when none of my clothes fit and I feel like a beached whale, like there needs to be a backup beeper when I move backwards. Like, that does not make me glow. It makes me angry. Like, no.
You talk about people like, people saying, oh, you're glowing,
I love
the
how
people
my
that
face broke out like I'm a 17-year-old again. That's awesome right there. Is that what's glowing?
Oh, I remember her complaining about that.
Is that what
forgot
glow
about
means?
that.
Is it the zit
I got
shining?
a zit!
Yeah, is it the zit
What?
shining? Yeah.
It's because you're so young, honey.
Oh, no, it was awful. Oh, and makeup wouldn't even cover that stuff up. Like, no.
God, she used to get so pissed.
Yes!
I forgot about that.
Oh, man, and Kylie just went through it. She's like, what is wrong with my skin? I was like, welcome to being pregnant.
But like I was gonna say, along the lines, the people that say stuff like that, it's kind of like the people that don't have kids. Well, my kids wouldn't act like that.
Yeah, because yours are perfect.
Yeah, right. Okay, all kids act like that. It doesn't matter.
Child born on this planet.
No, my kids wouldn't do that. You're right. Your kids would probably be worse because you've already got that mindset. Yeah. So
that or your kids are gonna be aliens.
Yeah.
Because normal kids are assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them. Love them. Like my son sitting right there. I love you, sweetie, but you're an asshole.
That just means all my kids are well adjusted.
Right? And they have to be. And in this day and age, they have to have a shell. Like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, if you don't, you're fodder.
Yeah.
It's like I teach my kids, just let it roll off your back like water off a duck, because if you take everything personal, you're done. But that's a conversation for another day. We'll do bullying on another day. But yeah, this whole, with the children and marriage and and if someone, this is one we didn't bring up, if someone already has a child and you want to marry this person,
doesn't mean they want more.
Well, there's that, but you need to realize too that this child is just as much a part of your life. Mm-hmm. So you may not want to be mommy or daddy dearest, because I'll tell you from experience, you can do what you want to me, but you start doing something to my kids, we got ourselves a problem.
Right.
We have a failure to communicate, and it will be dealt with swiftly with some paperwork.
I know a gal that she actually she doesn't want anybody but her disciplining her kids.
Yeah.
Even whoever that's completely fine with, like, if it's just somebody you're dating. But if you wind up in a relationship with somebody, or you get married, okay, but
they became a parent by marrying you,
right?
Yeah.
That to me is like, I can't. Okay, then you better do something.
Yeah. Because I'm fixing to snap.
Right.
Yeah. Like, my husband is a very big part of my son's life, but we've been together since he was a toddler,
right,
and stuff like that, and he still has never ever like spanked his butt or anything like that, but he will put him in his room, he'll ground him and stuff like that. And it's like I told him, I said, you are his stepdad, like, you're the other person in his life. And there for a while, when I was working so many hours nursing and stuff like that, it was just like, you have to be the one to do it because I'm not there to do it,
right.
So and then that's, if you don't trust a person with your child, don't marry them.
Right.
Don't date them. Don't continue this relationship. If you can look them in the face and go, I don't trust you to make the right decision when it comes to my child, then why would you stay?
Right.
If you marry someone, that means you obviously trust them enough to live with you, to take care of you.
In a perfect world, that's what it'd be. But anymore, what you see out of a lot of people is just, that it's what they want. They take the selfish aspect of it, because in this day and age, I see a lot of people that, otherwise you wouldn't have kids getting locked into damn cars.
Yeah.
Where...
Put something important back there, like your
right,
phone.
something important, like your goddamn kid.
Yeah. No, throw your phone back there, then you won't forget. It's bad that our society now, the cars are made with a button that will not allow you to unlock the car and get out until you look in the rear view mirror to make sure that there's no children back there, and then you can clear the button and get out of the car.
Right.
That is retarded.
Mm-hmm.
How do you forget your baby? Well, I never take him to daycare, and I always do that. Okay, well, you get to work, and there's a car seat in your car? You should probably drive back to the daycare.
As a parent, if your kid's quiet, you should be paranoid.
Yeah.
If the kid's screaming, you're not going to forget that kid. It's screaming. If the kid's quiet, you better look and see if your back seat ain't on fire.
Well, I had Bella today, and on the way to, she's 3 months old almost, and on the way to get Bobby, she was quiet. Like, and she hates car seats, so she normally screams as soon as her little butt hits the seat.
Right.
Like, she is in full pissed off mode before you even get her buckled in.
Right.
She was quiet the whole way, so I'm constantly like looking in the rear view, wanting to pull the car over.
She ain't choking or nothing?
Right, I'm like wanting to pull the car over, like, is she getting too much wind? What's going on?
Right.
Freaking out until I get to the school and we're parking waiting on him, and then I immediately unbuckle and I get out and I'm looking and she's okay. I'm just like, but I'm having a major panic attack because, oh my God, why is she not pissed?
Right.
She's not screaming. Why?
Why? She finally settled into the car ride, or
she's not feeling real good today.
On,
but then she made up for it on the way home. And what it was is she was fine as long as we were going, but then we had to stop for like 3 minutes to wait on Bobby to come out of the school. And she is definitely my grandchild because patience is not her virtue. It pisses her off, and she screamed bloody murder the whole way home until I thought she was going to throw up.
Right.
I mean, it was that I am mad, and everyone's going to know it for 3 miles.
I think
the whole way home.
Avery, and I believe Jonah was the same way, where you had to keep driving, just had to keep moving. A kid couldn't go to sleep, just drive around for about 15, 20 minutes. They'll fall asleep. When they're good and asleep for about 5 minutes, and you pull over. Then you go home and
get out the pumpkin seat and Oh yeah, Bobby was the go-kart. I had to take him around on the go-kart when he was a baby. He wasn't even a year old, and he would throw such a fit. I think it's just because he was gassy and it bounced the gas out of him. Maybe I don't know, but he'd have to just tool that thing slowly around the neighborhood. And I'm like, this is a racer. This is ridiculous that I'm going like half a mile an hour right now. Like I want to just like put the hammer down and go because I could make the front wheels come off the ground. It's pretty fun. But I mean, it would scoot with Pat on it. Right. And he's a lot bigger than me. Yeah. So, but I'm not very big anyway. I'm, 5 foot tall, $120. So, not very big.
Soaking wet.
Right. Well, that's why my daughter calls me the Pocket Amazon, and then my best friend calls me the Pocket Ninja. Because I'm small enough to fit in the pocket, but I'm a little nutty, a little crazy when it comes to go time. I think I'm 10 foot tall and bulletproof. I don't know why. It's just the way
I think that's all gals at some point.
It's just the way my brain is wired. 95% of the time.
But at least, when you start stuff, it ain't, starting shit just to see a guy get in a fight.
Oh, no.
God, I hate them. I hate when that shit happens.
No, because usually it's, I'm getting ready to go, and they have to get a hold of me and be like, nope. Because I'm that chihuahua that's trying to jump through the fence with the pit bull.
Cut her loose. I want to see what happens.
Right?
I'm going to watch this.
Oh, okay. So like I said,
I got $50 on the short blonde.
Right? Anybody has any questions, though, definitely, or any comments, or if even if you think, God, you guys are being retarded and you just talk way too much. Well, it's a talk show, so...
I was told we don't argue enough.
We don't argue enough. Well, that's just we haven't hit those.
We're not racy enough. We're not racy enough. I was like, racy? What do you mean? She's like, well, you're not arguing enough. I was like, you just want to hear me get hit with a damn spatula.
Yeah.
Which I don't see you brought today.
I did not bring it today.
Yes.
That means it's just a hand or closed fist.
Well, you're going to hurt yourself, so what's going to happen?
So, I don't know. I see lots of weapons around, so we're good.
Damn it.
There's a friggin' tomahawk right there.
It's nailed to the wall. You can't get it off the wall.
Bet me.
No, just don't. Just don't do it. Please don't do it. Okay, now that's dirty pool right there.
I just grabbed the Nerf gun, but it's fine.
It's dirty pool.
It's fine. But no, I figure we're probably going to get into some more discussions. But when you first told me racy, I was like, how can you see like that we're in bras or whatever because we're on the radio, not TV? I was like, racy. I was thinking, what in the world?
Well, that's the word that was used. I was like, because I kind of was like, huh? No, not like sexy or nothing. Like, there should have been. I figured there'd be more arguing.
Oh, we'll get there.
You just want to hear me get hit with shit.
We will get there. Never fear. She'll get to hear you scream. It'll be fine.
No comment.
Don't start with me. Because these are the bullets with the hard tips on them.
Now, see, that ain't fair.
But no, once we get to the last subject that we're going to talk about, that's probably when...
They should remove all the weapons.
It might get a little bit racy, a little bit hostile, maybe?
Hostile.
Antagonistic?
We might do some yelling. There could be yelling involved.
There might be some name-calling.
Name-calling?
There might be. Boy, I call you out your name. You're looking at me all sideways. But
side-eye you.
Right. But, like I said, if you have so far any of the questions or comments, concerns, or even, like he said, what we're not doing that you'd like us to do or see or whatever, like you want me to wax him, we'll make a contest out of something.
What the hell? What? No, wait a minute. This got out of hand.
We will make a contest out of it, and the winner will get to come and sit in on it. It'll have to be like so many likes or so many views or so many listens to the podcast. Oh, yeah. We're going to work this in. I'm definitely going to work this in. All even do is eyebrows.
No.
You're lucky it's not a manscape, okay? A man Brazilian. That would be 30
Sweet
levels
Jesus.
of screaming. But for that, I'd have to have Teresa in here. I just tell her, and I'll be like, here's the wax and the strips. Go to town, honey. Just wait till it dries and pull really hard. That's all you have to do.
With her cackling medley.
Yes. It'd be 40-year virgin all over again. But we are... How long?
I have a comment, but I'm not going to make it.
Yeah, we've got about a minute and a half, so just want to let you know if we kind of have to, get in the middle of something and end abruptly. We're getting ready to go to another break. Like, if you have any requests, all the requests will be taken. There is no genre that I will refuse to listen to, so we'll go from there.
What did Kylie have? Didn't Kylie have a... Wasn't it something rather whose jobs are more important or something like that? Wasn't that what she'd mentioned? I'd seen that you'd shared the post. I think she commented on it like, whose job's more important.
Maybe. I'll have to look again. My phone's been being stupid lately, but while we're on break, I'll take a look at that. I know she'd commented something, and if she's listening, she's at work, so I don't know, because she said it was so nuts the building felt like it was on fire, which means they're extremely busy and shorthanded, so she may not be able to listen.
Yeah.
But like I said, do give, you can text us at 278-8661 or get a hold of us on Facebook or geekpublicradio.com. We will be checking all of those outlets, and we can go from there. And I will definitely look and see if there's any comments further on the post. Like I said, you can just follow that feed there if you want to, if that's easier. And then we can go from there. You need to put the gun down, ma'am. I will not. You are entirely too, yeah. Oh, I'm trigger happy. That's what I'm worried about. Trigger happy. Well, shoot the Hobbit. No, it's you. They said we weren't racy enough. We weren't angry enough. So guess what? Well, that's because she wants to see me in pain. Yeah. We got to make our viewers and listeners happy. That's just how this rolls. All right. Well, we'll come back here in just a few minutes. And welcome back to He Said, She Said with Libby and Stafford.
Keep that up. It ain't going to be pretty.
It's all right. It's all right. I've got a Nerf gun over here, and I am not afraid to use it. You'll lose a nipple, sir. Anyway, okay, so we are back. That's my favorite line of the day. Anyways, talking about different things, and we did get a comment about talking about children and things like that before entering, holy matrimony.
Holy moly!
Yeah, exactly.
We got married.
But it was a gentleman asking, have you taken the, no kids position after trying for 5 years really hard, only because that fight is easier for us than having her face that it may be impossible for her after doctor's appointments trying to get it sorted out and no use, I'm afraid it would hurt her. Basically what's meaning is they tried and they tried and they tried and they tried and not gotten pregnant, not conceived. But he saw how upset it was making her. And so he just got to his own head and said, fine, I'll just be the asshole and say it's because I don't want to have any more kids, I just don't. I have other kids. I don't want to have any more kids. And just taking that upon himself because he doesn't want her to be hurt. Now, I understand, you're trying to be chivalrous and you're trying to be that, knight in shining armor. I'll take the burden from you. You can blame me. It's all my fault. You are not doing her any favors, sir.
That's a recipe for divorce.
Yeah, because then she's going to get it, like he said earlier, in her head. If you're not going to put a baby in my belly, I'll find someone who will. Yep. And then she's going to find out the hard way that she gave up her marriage or relationship or whatever the case may be for nothing. Mm-hmm. And that is something that...
And then it's still going to be his fault.
Yeah, and because why didn't you tell me?
Right.
Why did you let me believe this? Why?
Right.
So, you need to be right there beside her and face it head on. Yeah, it's scary. Been there, done that. Is it me? Is it you? Go to the doctor's appointments with her, but set them up and go. You have to. And then if they say she can, but less stress or this or that, then you have a game plan. You have a plan of attack. But if they go, I'm sorry, but you are unable to conceive, then yeah, she's going to be hurt. She's going to be, maybe even destroyed a little bit, but stay by her side. Don't go anywhere. Show her that you love her no matter what.
And you'll be stronger coming out the other end.
And yeah, then you two are going to be able to take on the world. Because you've already taken on the hardest part. And gotten through, because that's almost like a loss of a child. Because something that you've wanted so much all your life, and you realize that you're not going to have that. Now, you can also talk about adoption. You can do, fostering, which I've been there, done that, and it's very stressful, but it's also very rewarding. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these situations anymore, especially with, Lord, our society with all of these meth and heroin users and everything else, and the kids get taken away, they are needing forever homes, forever families, because those parents can't be parents anymore, if you OD or you're in prison or,
right.
You can't take care of kids. So, you can foster. So it's never hopeless.
Right.
It's never as bleak as what your mind makes it out to be. So, definitely don't keep taking the brunt of it because you're going to... I'm trying to think of a good way to put it. But if you take the brunt of it, you're going to be the one that's going to get that final kick to the nuts because she's just going to leave because you're the asshole. And you didn't want kids. And then she's going to take off and realize, oh, maybe it is me.
Well, and my question is now they've been to appointments to like the counseling or what have you for fertility.
Like fertility.
Yeah.
I know when I had asked about it, he has been, and he also has a child from a previous marriage, but she has not. And I asked them not to give me names, but she is not because it's a small town where we live.
Right.
So. But And it could be from anywhere, I guess. I mean, we do have listeners across the globe, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, she has not been anywhere because she's afraid that she's gonna hear that. And it's a fear of, right now, hers is the fear of the unknown.
Well,
and her mind,
okay,
I know,
okay.
is making it 100 billion times worse than what it probably is.
Okay, I guess I get that, but, problem solver here.
You need to suck it up and put your big girl panties on to do it.
Yeah. I mean, if it's that damned important, go with the doctor.
Yeah.
If it's that important, go with the doctor.
Because they're the only ones that's going to be able to tell you.
Right now, you're not doing anything. You're stuck in limbo.
Right.
There's nothing worse, trust me, than being stuck in limbo.
Right. I mean, you can be, read every book, go to CVS, get every ovulation counter on the market. You can go, this is when I'm most fertile and have, sex 40 times a day and still not get pregnant. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't. It just means that you aren't for some reason. And sometimes it's just a matter of, I need to boost this hormone level. Right. Boom. Done. A pill.
Well,
wow.
And it's like I knew another couple that they were trying, and he had some issues, but it wound up being I believe, as I recall, it was a hormone issue with her, and they thought it was him to begin with because of the nature of an injury, and it wound up being the other way around, and they wound up having 2-3 wonderful kids.
Yeah,
so
but you have to. Buck up, soldier.
You got to go to the doctor. Yeah.
You have to figure out, and it's not anyone's fault. It's not your problem, not mine. It's you are a married couple or a committed or however. I mean, if you're having children together or wanting children together, you obviously plan on sticking around a bit.
Right.
And, it's an us problem. It's not a you or me.
Right.
This is not you need to go to the doctor. It's let's go. Let's go to this appointment so that you're both on the same page. The doctor can talk to both of you. Because let's just face it, if you both can't go to the appointment and face the music, then there's no way on earth you're going to be able to make all the decisions that a child is going to need.
Right.
Because it's not an 18-year plan. It's not. When you're a parent for life. Mm-hmm. And they are always, at least I would hope, always going to need you, at least for advice or a shoulder to cry on or someone to listen to them. And if you can't show up to a friggin' doctor's appointment with your baby mama, then you don't need to have kids, sir or ma'am. Because that's a tiny thing. That's a tiny, tiny thing that you'd have to do. Oh my gosh, you had to take 2 hours off work? The world's going to stop. It's going to end right now. We're not going to be able to pay the light bill because of 2 hours. No. Just don't be a dumbass. But then there's some people that I really wish they had a pill that I could give them to where they don't have kids.
Yeah.
Because they register really high on the stupidometer. I can't even, how do you remember to breathe air in and breathe air out without someone telling you?
I don't. That if they were left alone, it would become idiocracy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they had half a brain, they still wouldn't have anyone to play with. Because, and what's sad is those are the people that have 30 damn kids. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Beautiful kids. Mm-hmm. And then normally wind up treating them like crap. Mm-hmm. Because it's all about me.
It's a vagina, not a clown car.
Exactly. You don't have to see just how much you can put in and how much you can push out. And that goes for guys and gals. Because let's just face it, in this day and age, pregnancy is the least of your worries.
Right.
Super gonorrhea. No.
I wonder if it wears a cape.
I don't know, but they better have some super penicillin or something, because I don't know. That's just terrifying to me. Like the normal ones weren't scary enough, and now you've got super ones.
Started in Taiwan or the Philippines.
Oh,
but we have the Navy to thank for that.
Well, they do. They usually are the first ones to create the stuff, so we get a lot of good crap from there. Buy my TV from Taiwan,
Comes with free super gonorrhea?
Right? I hope not. So I'm watching that bleach thing with bleach when I get home. I'm not playing. Make sure when I go buy it, no, you take it out of the box and wash it first, and then I'll take it home. Don't know where it's been. Came from Taiwan. I don't know how long it sat in customs, so I don't know if all that stuff's dead or not. I don't.
Give Pat a pair of jeans. Here, honey, they're made in Taiwan. They're so itchy.
Why do I feel sick? No. If I see it says it's made in Taiwan, I'm going to be like, send it back. And what's scary is, like, we do a lot of online purchasing and stuff, and like, I'll get it.
Hong Kong.
No, if it comes from just China or, Beijing or Xinjiang or whatever that place is,
Does
I'm
that come with free rice?
No, and I'm upset.
That's bullshit. Should at least come with a fortune cookie.
I make some fried rice.
Yeah.
I like some. But,
damn it, now I want Chinese food.
You want all food. Like, I mentioned chicken. I want chicken. And I mentioned rice.
You got me thinking about chicken.
Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, coleslaw, sweet tea.
God damn it, now I want to go to Lee's.
Food porn. But I go to Lee's and I never spend less than $70. And I'm like, I want all the chicken.
Well, that's just getting like a bucket of. Well, no, that'd be KFC.
No, that's like that's go
to KFC, get a bucket. We used to go to KFC.
Lee's is really good chicken. If you want good chicken, go to Lee's.
that was the thing. Everybody always has the dinner debate. So I told my wife, I said, I am tired of the dinner debate. Well, she's told me several times that she was tired of it. I said, okay, so from now on, when nobody can decide on what the hell they want, I'm just going to KFC.
Right.
And after about the third time I done that, they started coming up with stuff.
Right.
I'm like, I'll eat chicken all day long.
I just need to open up a restaurant that's called You Decide. Or You Pick.
I've seen one that was...
that's called I Don't Know.
The one that was like... oh, shit.
The solution to all your problems.
I don't care. That was the name
I don't
of
care
it.
Restaurant.
I don't care.
Because it's always, where do you want to eat? Oh, I don't care. Well, now they've got that place. But we need to pick one that says, oh, you pick.
Well, see, with me and Teresa, it would have been, I don't know, what do you want?
Right.
What do you feel like eating? I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. What do you want? What do the kids want? I don't know. We don't know. McDonald's?
Yeah, anytime
we're not doing McDonald's.
Okay. Thanks, Jeremy, because Pat says, okay, I will never accept clothes from you again, dear. I wouldn't do that to you. I share a house with you. I share life with you. I'm not giving... there are a lot of things...
in the garage.
There's a lot of things I'd give you, honey, but something like that is not one. Ever. Ew. Oh. Yeah, it's... Oh, God. Ugh. I don't think they make enough penicillin in the world for soup.
That's something you can't take off with Ajax.
But no, we do order a lot of stuff, and it comes in from China, and, like, I'm a very impatient person, so I get aggravated when stuff takes a month or so to get to me or more. But then I'm thinking, well, no, that gives it plenty of time to sit in customs and any germ dies,
Right, which is pretty much why it's sitting in customs.
Yeah. Don't fly it over. Let it take the longboat.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it swim. Because I don't want it to be ooky when I get it.
Right.
Like, I don't want it to stand up and walk its happy ass over to me. No. If it does that, I'm burning everything down. Burning it. Young priest, old priest, and cleanse with fire. There will be no holy water.
We will purify this with fire, and then we will salt the earth.
Right.
So that it doesn't come back.
Which, and since I'm a squirrel, random, the purge it with fire thing, I always have a big fish tank, and I love having fish in it. My son, years back, had a goldfish, and we always either name him Dead Meat or Gonna Bite It,
right?
Because it's a fair fish. Well, this one was 3 years old, and then we got other fair fish, and, well, they killed everything in the tank. Like, that was just 2 years ago. And they killed everything. So then I cleaned out the tank, got everything ready, had the pet store, come and test my water and everything. And they're like, oh, it's fine. So I got some gouramis because they're really pretty and I really like them. And there were 3 of the red fire gouramis. I think that's the name of them. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Kylie. I don't know. And then 3 powder blues. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, I'm missing a powder blue. And then I'm missing another powder blue. And I'm thinking, crap, there's a race war in my dang fish tank. Like, okay, I know they're aggressive, but I didn't put any other fish in there with them except them. And then I had a couple placos, the plecostomuses, the side suckers, the armor-plated tank fish. And
the algae eaters.
Yeah, and so did that. And then it just starts dwindling down. And I'm like, oh, Lord. There's one fish in the gourami, and I'm thinking, well, we're fine. He's not going to kill a gourami. Those things are armor-plated.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, we named him McLeod because there can be only one. This fish beheaded the Pleco. Like a clean cut across, I saw his head floating in the tank.
Wow.
I'm like, all right, Highlander, there can be only one. And I told Kylie, and she's like, kill it before it evolves. I was like,
before it evolves.
I said, I can't, I'm kind of scared now. I killed the Pleco. She's like, burn it, cleanse it with fire. Like, it was like, and then she starts sending me all these memes of fire and all the, flamethrowers. And she's like, you always said you want a flamethrower. I'm like, I don't want to go near the tank. So we just called him Dickfish from then on out. And then he got what was coming to him because I wound up putting him in a smaller tank just because I'm like, all right, well, you're not going to kill everybody and still get the mansion. Like, you're not getting the 75-gallon tank, buddy.
Right.
Not by yourself. So I put him in a cute little tank, and then I look at him. Well, because of where he had fought with the other fish and the gourami and stuff, his fin and his tail were torn a little bit. And he wound up dying, 3 days later. But I'm just like, so you killed everybody and then died yourself? What was the point?
Mutually assured destruction.
I guess, I told you I'd take you out. I don't understand.
Last
it
one
was
standing.
Right, and then did the guilt get to him? Took himself out, slammed himself on the tank too many times. They don't have arms. They got fins. They can't stab themselves. But yeah, just cleanse it with fire before it evolves.
Right.
And I was like, "What do you mean evolves?" She goes, "It killed a dinosaur." So because the cats won't mess with Plecos. The cat will look at it and go, mm-mm, mm-mm. Because bat it all day long, you're not getting through it. Right. I still don't know how a gourami, a little tetrafish, took its head off. I'm a little scared.
Very carefully.
Was a little scared, and I was not upset when he... Murderfish. That's what he was. He was a murderfish.
What are they giving out at the fair?
Fish herpes.
Yeah. I tell you. It was
you do that,
fish.
Chris. You do that.
Superfish.
He was if he had lived, I would have probably made him a cape, or made the background of his tank like ID television.
Yeah,
like murder porn. I'd have had knives and shit in the background.
Why do you women always watch that?
It's education.
I figure it's like plotting and planning.
It's education.
Okay.
You got caught. I won't do that.
See, I knew it. I knew that's what it was.
Yeah.
It's
ideas,
watch it,
man.
My wife watches it. Heather watches it. Every woman I know watches that. And that's why when we go somewhere, all the guys are huddled together and we're in like a 360 looking at it. It's like, okay, which one's coming from what angle?
My papa watched it too. He's the one that actually got me hooked on it. And he was a very Southern man, very old school Southern man in his 90s saying, some people just needs a killing. And I'm like, oh, okay, Sling Blade. I told him that one time, and he just started laughing. He goes, mm-hmm. And that's why I love this man. He can pull a Billy Bob Thornton. So, with that, and he'd, sit and watch Ozzy Osbourne with my sister on MTV.
Yeah.
So, pretty cool. And the only cartoon he had ever watched was South Park.
I never really cared for that.
Well, it started out as an accident. We were driving to Oklahoma to see his brother. And stopped at the hotel, and he's like, well, Kylie was little. She's 4. So he's like, we'll find some cartoons. Get her settled down. Okay, puts that one on. All of a sudden, he starts hearing talk. He's like, what in the hell kind of cartoon is this? I was like, what are you watching? He's like, I think it's called South Park. I was like, that's not a kid's cartoon, Papa. Turn it off. And then he started watching it. Apparently, he got the adult humor, but I was like, she doesn't need to watch it. He's like, oh, she's 4. She don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm like,
be surprised what a 4-year-old will pick up if you ain't careful.
Smart as a whip, I'm telling you. But it's just, okay. So our lovely DJ here is teasing and threatening to play songs because we keep squirreling everywhere.
You got a mouse in your pocket?
Absolutely, it's named Stafford. He says, I'm so playing Princes of the Universe on next break.
Oh.
I think he should play Flash Gordon's music. Flash.
Well, he wants to play. He wants to play Princes of the Universe because of Highlander.
Yes. Well, They would get the reference now.
Yeah.
Because of my, my cloudfish. There can be, whenever time I go by the tank, there can be only one!
What is that?
What is what? You son of a...
No, you back up. I got the gun now.
I guess I ain't afraid to be hurt.
Ha-ha! You, ma'am, have been disarmed.
Oh, that's okay. I'll use other things. Anything can be a weapon. Nope, I got throwing stars.
Oh, now come on.
Throwing star wooden coasters.
This is horse crap.
We'll just test his theory. Oh. You are now learning, Grasshopper. My young Padawan.
Ow, son of a...
Biscuit!
That didn't hurt. That didn't hurt. Here's your gun back, though.
Yeah, but you took all the bullets. Oh, no, you left 2 in it.
There are 2 in it? Oh, God. I'm not good with toy guns. I have to use real ones.
Ooh. Smarter than the average bear, I am. I have all the weapons now. It's fine. But
what's our topic again?
Oh, shoot, we've jumped so far.
I don't even
know
squirreled
anymore.
all over this table.
No,
it ain't even funny.
We were talking about the children thing. Like I said, any more comments or questions and all that.
Children.
Yeah, well, we are children. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I'm a kidult.
A kidult.
I'm a kidult.
It's the first I've ever heard of that.
The next subject. Ew, gross. You're going to get hit next, I'm telling you. But talking about the kids and everything else. Shut up.
What?
Surrounded
I didn't do anything.
Assholes.
I didn't say anything.
Assholes, all of them. Just so you know. You're welcome. We're doing that, but then the next topic we're going to talk
You're
about...
awful self-conscious.
Hey, we're getting ready. I'm getting geared up because the next subject is arguments. And how to win them. I'll show you how to win. He's going to show you how to lose badly.
Oh, my God. All right. All right. Okay.
See?
Oh, all right.
We're getting geared
okay.
up.
All right. Yeah, all right.
Talk about getting that blood pressure up. Mm-hmm. Here we go, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When his brain explodes, I've done my job.
Uh-huh. All right.
Hey, I'm going to get Teresa laughing at some point.
Pick up the pace, honey. You're lagging behind. She listens to it when she walks.
Oh!
Yeah.
Hey, Teresa, honey, this one's for you.
Oh, God, no! Ow! Ow! Didn't hurt.
And he's lying again. You know how I know? He's talking.
Oh. And, honey, you quit grinning right now.
Yeah.
That was funny on many levels.
But, yeah, well, the whole...
None of them that I found amusing.
No, in seriousness.
She is cracking up right now.
Oh, yeah, the arguments about, when to walk away, when to not chase like the mad chihuahua, if they leave a room, sometimes let them go. All right, we will be back in just a few minutes.
Be sure to listen to that part, honey.
Oh, yeah, all of us. And then we're going to listen to some music, have an advertisement, pay for the show, and then we will be back with you.
Wheel over here in between us. Wheel over here in between us.
And welcome back to the He Said, She Said, where it's about to go down. I now have my trusty spatula.
That is such bullshit. Who sold me out?
Nobody. I always know there's a spatula down by the grill. I just washed it. You're pretty lucky. Any requests on someone that wants to hear him scream, just let me know. Shoot us a text at 278-8661.
Here we go.
765 first. And then Facebook, GPR He Said, She Said.com. Then geekpublicradio.com. You can go down to listen now. And then, like I said, you can shoot us messages on our personal phones if you have those numbers. If not, 765-278-8661. Now is the fun round that I've been waiting for. This is the segment on arguments. and fighting, and I guess best ways to deal with it. And some people think that, we're going to figure this out, we're going to argue it out, we're going to just do it until we can't breathe anymore, follow each other around screaming. And then there's people that get to the point like I will get so pissed off or upset that I leave the room. If I leave the room, let me leave the room. If I close the door and you open said door, something's flying at your head. So.
Like what?
Whatever I get a hold of.
Wooden coasters?
Yeah.
Oh, wooden coasters, shoes.
I mean, because we're talking like pillows, then, it's kind of really not a threat.
I've got a
if
bookshelf.
you got a bowling ball in there, then shit,
I've got a bookshelf by my headboard. I'll throw hardbacks.
Okay. I was getting ready to say paperbacks.
They're Edgar Allan Poe's and those thick hardbacks. She
hit me with the stand.
I do. We have
knocked me right out.
We have a row of Stephen King in there as well, a bunch of Anne Rice. So we love our books. But anyway, we're going to talk about. I guess
you stop helping. Get out. Go on. Go on. You get out. Wasted a bullet on him.
Chris has now been ejected from the studio.
Damn it.
He was trying to hand me books.
That just shows the balance of estrogen's higher in you. Ow! I'm good for one more shot.
It's like my mom always said when someone would throw something, she goes, "That's your first mistake. You let it go out of your hand. You hang on to that sucker."
Yeah, because I won't throw the gun at you.
Right. Okay, so I don't know. What type of arguer are you? Are you the type that...
I don't like arguing.
Well, I mean...
Well, no, I like arguing, but I don't... I mean,
as far as it goes, like, if you... I guess, or maybe a heated discussion. Are you one of those that's like, I'm the problem solver and we're going to just beat this into the dirt until it's solved? Or do you walk away? Or do you let the other person walk away?
Well, there's how I view it than how my wife would tell you it goes down. So
I want both sides.
Well, I would say that, first off, I like having all the information before we do an argument. Or before we have an argument. Yeah, right.
Nobody has all the information.
Right, well, otherwise, I like to think about stuff before I have a rebuttal. Now, part of that, a lot of times, if I don't have a rebuttal, then, I just sound like an idiot. So that's how she wins most of the arguments. Because my wife's one of those kinds. My wife's the kind that, she's like, like that Chihuahua. We could have, I don't know how many times we've gone to bed and then, of the course of laying in there, you'll lay there, you'll look at the ceiling and then you'll talk about whatever it was that,
And another thing.
Right. And, so then we'd have it out in the bed there. And then at some point, inevitably, I'm going to say, okay, I got to go smoke. Because I got to go think about whatever we just talked about. Or I can't get out what I want to say. And it's frustrating. So I'll get up and I'll go smoke.
You got to process.
Yeah. I'll get up to go outside to smoke. And I'll turn around and there she is. Like, well, maybe I had to smoke too.
I say, maybe she's just as frustrated with you. Right. And she's like, if I don't smoke, I'm going to string this man up.
She's like the little, the little bulldog or the Chihuahua or some cutesy foo dog or whatever that'll follow you. I mean,
but why do I see
all the time? But I'm like, just
why do I see her whipping your ass though? She might be that cute little fluffy dog, but
what do you mean whipping my ass?
I don't know. She might take you in a fight.
In an argument?
Oh yeah, in a fight. I think she could take you in a fight.
In a fight?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, any woman's gonna win because I ain't gonna hit a woman.
But I don't know. I think she can be a little passive sometimes, though, and just be like, look, I'm just done arguing about it. But I think that comes with just being a woman. Sometimes you're just over it, and you're like, whatever. And if we say whatever, it's... That's the...
I can't remember the last time I remember her saying that she was done arguing. I mean, there are times... I think there's times where we're like, well, okay...
We're just not going to agree.
And, well, yes and no. I mean, a lot of times it's... I have missed the point... She's laughing about this, I'm sure. I've missed the point or the object, and I need to figure out, go over in my head, okay, well, we said this, and figure and straighten everything out so I can understand what the point of the whole thing was to begin with. And
should you like us to get sidetracked?
I'm a little slow on the uptake sometimes. Give me time to. Oh. don't you start. So a little slow on the uptake, and yeah, she'll, so I get inundated with information, and I'm trying to figure it out, and it'll inevitably, because I'm not as quick, as I used to be. So it'll frustrate me. I'll get up and I want to go smoke, or like I got to get up, I got to go smoke or whatever. And 90% of the time she's right. All right, 95.
Teresa, that this you can get this a podcast and have it in forever.
Okay, so like 20% of the time she's
no takebacks.
20% of the time she's right. You know what? You hit me with that again, and it's 10. Okay, no, 95% of the time, she'll argue 99, and I might actually give her that one. You know what? It probably actually is 99.5% of the time, but that 0.5% is pretty damn important to me.
That's right, because I got a little bit.
And that's the thing. I won't argue unless I'm sure I'm right. And that's what frustrates the shit out of me, is that we're arguing because I think I'm right, and I find out I'm wrong because there's something I didn't know, or some extenuating circumstance that,
so you're like, if you'd have told me that in the beginning,
that chances are she told me and I just don't remember it. So I'd say 99% of the times that we ever argued, either I'd done something totally retarded to begin with, or I'd done something that I thought was right at the time and wound up not being. She.
Or I find half the time it's a misinterpretation, because
right.
the biggest
miscommunication was the biggest one with us.
And it's that, and the fact now with technology, the goddamn text messaging. Like, we've gotten into so many fights because I'll send something or he'll send something, because, yes, honey, I know it's not always you, but in this instance, I'm going to say, like, I'll send him something and he'll send me a message back, well, why are you pissed, or why are you yelling, or why are you that? I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sending you a text message. Like, how you took it is depending on how your day is going. Like, right. You can't get inflection, you can't get emotion, you can't get anything out of text message. And that's always
been our big complaint about it too. It got to the point there for a while where
we just stopped for a while. Stop texting because it's gonna.
I'll just call you.
Yeah, it's like, if it's important, call. Otherwise, we're gonna piss each other off either the very beginning or right through the middle of the day, and then be mad the whole rest of the day. And then when you come home, it's like, oh, and now we're gonna fight.
See, I don't think we had that much trouble with reading into it, because we always use the emojis to like indicate, like, if we were really angry, mm-hmm. we send the angry face, like, okay, this is no bullshit, otherwise we're playing. But if you get the angry face, or something, okay, it's, hey, I'm really kind of irritated about this, so
yeah. We got in an argument before because I used the wrong emoji.
Did you use the poop emoji?
No, I used just like a winky face, and he thought it was a mad face, and it was on. I was like, if I'm mad, you get that little purple devil what's mad with the horns. Or if I'm being a little shit.
See, I send that when I'm horny.
No, I don't do that one.
Well, the one with the smiley face.
Or I'll send that little mad yellow face with the red cheeks and smoke coming out of his nostrils.
Yeah, that's the anger end of the one that looks like it's censored across its mouth.
But, it's like... Those are stupid arguments, because those are arguments that shouldn't even be arguments.
We're arguing about emojis.
Emojis and text message. Like, it's not even, I talked to you and something, came out wrong. Or my favorite is when I get told, well, you heard it wrong. No. I heard the words that came out of your mouth. Well, that's not how I meant it. Well, that's how you said it.
You meant it in a way that wasn't compatible with what you wanted to accomplish.
Right. Or he'll tell me, he's like, my words just aren't coming out right. I'm like, I know that feeling. Yeah. Where you just get so upset that you blurt out words and it's not what you meant, or you say it in a way you didn't mean it, and then you're like, oh, God, Then you feel like a total dick.
Right.
I feel like a dick all the time, but because I'm, I'm quick to mouth off. I'm real quick. Not me.
No.
Never. And, it's... And a lot of the times when we get in like our little stupid fights, it's more than likely my problem, because I'm a mouthy ass little broad, but little ninja. But we never stay mad. That's the one good thing. One of the many good things about him and I is we don't stay mad. You can't stay mad. You can't.
Yes, you can.
No, because if you do, it ends badly.
Right. I didn't say it was a good outcome. I just said you can stay mad.
You can. Technically, you can. if you want ulcers and
Yeah.
less money because child support's a bitch.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. Like, we make it, and this is something we've talked about from the beginning, we make it a valid point, like I said last week, a valid point to always say I love you, to never go to bed angry. Because that's just asking for trouble, because then one person will be sound asleep and the other person's still fuming, and then you're just looking at them going, oh, so it really didn't bother you because you're over there sleeping like a damn baby. Like,
no, don't do that.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
No, don't do that, because you can, I don't know how many your head hits the pillow and you're asleep.
That's what my husband does.
Part of it's the machine, because you've not slept so right for so long that when you finally, you're out like that.
Oh yeah, he puts the machine on and it helps with the breathing and stuff, and it's just like, good night.
Yeah, I mean, so
it's like he could be laying on a rock and go to sleep.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I am just staring at the ceiling yet again, all the time. Now that he has his machine, though, it's a lot easier. It's, at first it was kind of loud, but now it's really comforting, because I know it means that he's still breathing. So it's just a comfort thing. Like, I don't worry about, because before it's like in the middle of the night, he, would snore, and then all of a sudden I would not hear anything, and I'm like, oh my God, panic. Like, he stopped breathing. So there's no way he could have got solid sleep because I'm beating the crap out of him trying to wake him up. Like, are you dead? Like, don't be dead. So, snoring, that was an argument and a half. Ooh. So, but...
Do you talk asleep?
Yes. Even with the CPAP on, which is like... It's hard to understand. But
Did you ever have an argument
cute.
over something that he was talking about in his sleep?
Yes. Apparently we were buying a race car. And he was mad at me because I didn't know
No, did you ever have an argument with him over something he said in his sleep?
Oh, no,
That he has no control over?
No.
So you've never had, like, a dream about something that... And in the dream, he's done something, and you get mad at him for that dream because he did that in the dream?
No, but he's gotten mad at me over dreams he's had that I didn't do shit.
Wow.
Well, in my dream, you left me, or you did this and that and the other. I'm like, well, babe, I'm still right here. I ain't going anywhere. And he wakes up mad or upset.
Right.
And I don't like that. I'm like, what's going on in your head then that's, causing you to be so stressed out? But, I've never agreed with people arguing about, things you do or say in your sleep.
Right.
Or dreams that you've had. You have no control on that at all. I don't care if, it's your subconscious. You're calling someone else's name. Who gives a crap? He lives with you. He lays in bed with you every night. Like, what does it matter what the hell he's dreaming about? That's why they're called dreams. You don't get them. Like my husband and I, we've got our top 5, our, A-lister stars or whatever, it's like, yeah, you get a hall pass for those. Because, you know what, quite frankly...
Hall pass?
Yeah.
What is that?
Where you can go sleep with them and it's not cheating.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Oh, who started that silly shit?
Oh, that's been around for a long time. But we've
that's the first I've heard about. No, hell no. No, cheating's cheating.
We've got our top 5.
I don't care who it is.
It's called a hall pass, but that's our top 5. Because we know. Well, it's because we know that it's never going to happen.
But still, I mean, to me, that's leaving a...
It's not like you can walk up and be like, oh yeah, our neighbor.
That's entertaining.
Our neighbor, she's my top 5 because she's my neighbor. No. That's not how that works. Like,
still though, that's entertaining the notion. I'd be like, hall pass? Hell no. I don't.
Hall pass? You mean you want to go to the principal's office and get in detention?
Yeah, like, that's something. Hall pass. So you want to go in front of the judge and get a divorce? Is
right? Is that what a hall pass is?
That's what it sounds like to me. I'll hall pass my ass. Hall pass. You better hope he gets you.
Right. But no, it's a.
Hope he can afford all these kids.
Right. But, as far as, I mean, everybody has their own personality. Everybody has their own style of, I guess, fighting, if you will. There's an art to it, I'll tell you. It's a fine balance, unless, you want to be single forever. But...
I'm trying to think any time that, like, I started a fight. Okay. And I'm sure it happened, I just don't recall it. I'm not saying she started every fight.
Teresa, help me out here. Send me the fights that he started.
She won't listen to this till tomorrow. Pick up the
That's
pace.
okay.
You're slacking.
That's okay. Listen to it tomorrow. Send me some texts. I'll bring it up next week.
I'm trying to think of, I'm sure I started fights, but I don't think I've ever started a fight over something that I wasn't. I have to be 100% sure that I'm right about something before I'll start an argument or be like, well, what,
because you don't want to put your foot in your mouth.
Right. I don't want to look like an idiot. It happens anyway, but I don't want.
Well, my husband
intentionally.
My husband, God love him, he says that he's learned to walk on his ass because he always has both feet in his mouth. Because he's a very passionate person, so it's like if he gets upset or whatever, things just pop out of his mouth before he can stop them.
Right.
And so he's like, I've gotten really good at walking on my butt. And I think that's probably a lot of people. Because anymore, you just don't have filters.
Well, you do, but it's just at a certain point, you're like, it's just it almost when you put a filter on, sometimes it just to me seems dishonest. Because if something's pissing me off, I'm going to tell you it's pissing me off.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much that's the way that it's going to work. So it just it's okay. That's it just. I don't know. I'm always. I know a lot of times it doesn't come across, but I really do try to take people's feelings into account when, now sometimes it just doesn't, not that it doesn't matter, but there's a limit. I try, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I lost that train of thought completely. That son of a bitch derailed somewhere in Cleveland. I had it, and then I read that, and that threw me off. Don't hand me things while I'm in the middle of a thought, because I'll pick back up on it here in a minute. But
yeah, I think I was looking back through the Facebook post, and one of the ladies posted on there, and I agree with it. Is there's a difference between talking something out using constructive criticism and just plain arguing. You can't just plain argue. There has to be a reason. There has to be a solution. And somewhere there in the middle, you guys have got to come to that same conclusion. So it's never I'm going to tear you down, make you feel like, you're not worth it. It's never that. It should always be, we can disagree, but we still want the same goals. We still are a couple. We're still, we can still do this. We can still make this work.
Right.
It shouldn't ever be a tear down moment, because then if you're in an argument with someone and it's just constant tear down, then that is abuse.
Yeah.
That is not okay. You do not ever, and I don't care, male, female, straight, gay, trans, it's not okay. Abuse is never okay in any form. Mental abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. They don't have to put their hands on you to make it wrong. They put their hands on you, that's when they go to jail real quick. But get out
Unless
of that
you're
type
into
of
that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, but if they're doing it out of anger, then that's not okay. That is something that is never going to be okay.
Right.
And they don't love you. If they are telling you things and saying all these horrible things to you, that's not love. That's
right.
Control. And it's not something that anyone ever, I don't care if you're a billionaire, should ever have to put up with.
Right.
You'll find someone that loves you for you and accepts you for you, and that's how it should be. So, we're getting ready for another break here in just a couple minutes, and then when we come back, we'll have just a few minutes to kind of close up and all of that. If anyone wants to send any topics throughout the week, it doesn't have to be tonight, especially if you're listening to the podcast, just send us any information on those links on the numbers that we've given for texting. All the information is also on the GPR He Said, She Said Facebook page, and we will discuss those things on upcoming shows, more than likely next week. Other than that, we will just, try not to hurt each other too bad. No promises, though. Look, the spatula's right there.
I see it right there.
Okay. Let the bullet fly, mister, and see what happens.
See what happens? Are you going to Matrix?
You never know. I might.
Will you?
Because it's going to go from arguments to... We just talked about abuse and that it's not okay, and you're going to make me beat you.
You know what? You shot me with this damn thing.
I did. But you shot me too, so there we go.
Then I need to hit you with the spatula. And some coasters.
See that? But that might get fun.
Huh?
That might get fun, though. So we got to probably not do that. Anyway, we have like about a minute or so. So, like I said, shoot us a message or, anything like that. Get back with us. Let us know what you want to talk about. If, if the banter's funny, let us know. If we need to turn it up a notch, let us know. Turn it down a notch. We probably won't, but you can say so.
Teresa's going to tell me that, I need to say something that, you beat me more.
Probably. And I will take that into consideration.
We need to get an actual argument, too. We need an actual, maybe we should demonstrate when we come back. Maybe we should demonstrate the arguing techniques. But then you get up and walk away, and then I'll get up and walk away, and then it'll just be Chris and Bobby in here
and they won't know what to do.
They won't know what to do. And so, I kind of wonder, now that I think about it, it's like, what happens, you got two people that do the walk away, so I guess there's a lot of peace in that house, because if they're angry, they're not in the same room. But now, what happens? What happens when you have two? Well, that, and what happens when you have two people that they do they just keep bouncing into each other like the Energizer Bunny, trying to chase each other, just bam, 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 head on?
Oh yeah. That's one of those households that's always in chaos, always.
Because I've just got this mental image of Pat and Teresa, just standing yelling at each other, arguing some stupid point. And
they'd probably kill each other.
Probably.
But what are you doing here?
It just I don't know. It's just something funny that popped in my head.
Is that our email? Okay.
Now when you argue, and you walk away and you come back, are you as mad as when you left, or you come back kind of,
No. By the time I come back, I'm usually calmed down. Just let me calm down. But we have to go on our little break here. We'll give you some music and some commercials, and we'll be back and we'll discuss it, and we'll go from there.
That'll work.
Thanks. And welcome back to He Said, She Said with Libby and Stafford. Oh, Lord, our DJ's cracking me up.
Come on, Cletus.
Come on, Cletus. I'm going to walk over here, but you're going to limp back.
Yeah, you will.
He's trying to egg me on into an argument right now because of our conversations, and I am not. I'm not taking the bait.
Argue with me.
Nope. I'm not taking the bait.
No.
Nope, because I'm not going to.
Because I can win, because you'll just walk away. I'll just sit here.
No.
My laziness will override all.
I will stab you with something.
It's fine, too.
Ask my husband. He got a dart to the thigh. I warned him.
I have the dart gun over here.
I said, no. A metal dart. A sharp dart.
Okay.
I warned him. I said, hit that symbol one more goddamn time, and I'm going to stick you with a dart.
Hit the symbol?
Yeah, he was playing on a drum set.
Yeah.
And it's years ago, before my daughter was born. Him and my brother were having a jam session, and my brother plays guitar, and they were doing that, and he just kept just slamming the cymbal, and my head was just pounding, and I was like, you got one more time to hit that goddamn cymbal. I'm going to stab you in the leg with this thing. And he looks me right dead in the face and just slams that cymbal, and I just says, boom, thwack, stuck him right in the thigh. Then I realized what I did, and I ran down the stairs 150 miles an hour. But other than that,
don't run away.
Oh no, I ran down.
Get in the fight and stay in the fight.
Oh no, because I got down there, and his mom was on my side, because he's like, well, she stuck me in the leg. She's like, well, what'd you do? Ha ha ha. They like me more, darling. Like his granny, she loved me, and I love that woman to pieces. Because that's going to be me when I'm old. 4 foot nothing, and everyone's terrified. Because I sleep with a gun. Because Granny did. She had Lucille at her bedside table. Mm-hmm. Even at 90-some years old. Mm-hmm. She did not care. She almost shot her son-in-law. Because he dressed in drag, and she didn't know, and all of a sudden there was a 6'2" woman in her house.
She's going to put some speed holes in her.
Scared the hell out of me, you dumbass. Yeah, it was. She told me that story, and I laughed so hard, I just about peed my pants. Because she's like, how the hell was I supposed to know? The big damn woman. So, yeah. Almost got shot. But he's trying to bait me into an argument, and in the last few minutes, just to prove the...
He did that on purpose.
Absolutely did. To prove that we can. And I'm like, I don't want to. Like, I've had a good day. I don't want to argue. I've actually had a calm day. Zoloft works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps me a little
I
crazy.
know a couple of hot button things that would spin you straight up into it, but I'm not going to because
Probably
the nature of them.
Good damn thing.
See, but now you're not so calm, are you?
I'm still calm-ish.
Calm-ish. Okay.
But see, I'm one of those people that it can be boiling under the surface, and outside's fine.
Right. Then you'd become a geyser.
I've had a lifetime of choke it down kind of thing, and when you're mad.
What was that for?
That face.
What face? You know, this is the face that God gave me in His infinite jocularity, because He thinks it's funny. This is the only face I get.
Oh, no. It was the look you were making with that face and biting off the comment that wanted to come out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever.
I don't know what you're talking
blah,
about.
Blah, blah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's what I hear. Bleh. Mm-hmm. That's all that's coming out your mouth. Bleh. Bleh. That's all you're doing.
You're doing goat boy? Really? Really? Goat boy?
Why not? I hadn't done it
It's the beard, isn't it?
It's kind of... It's your belly go to me.
You've been a bad boy, liver.
This is what sleep deprivation does, guys. It's a serious
don't even act like you didn't sleep
problem.
last night.
I only slept like 3 hours last night.
3 hours?
Mm-hmm. I know. It was like, holy shit, I almost slept all night.
Like how many times in a row?
No, it was like 3 hours. Boom, boom, boom. 3 hours.
And then
all together.
another 3 hours, and then another 3 hours?
No, it was 3 hours and then get your ass out of bed.
You slept like 12 hours, don't you?
I did not.
Yeah, it was like 12 hours.
You are so full of shit. How are you going to sleep that long with a friggin' infant? There is no sleep when there's an infant in the house.
So you slept like 6 hours.
Ether bunny.
Did not.
What was that for? What was
Ether
that?
bunny.
Does this rag smell like chloroform to you?
Best date ever!
Oh. Wow.
Oh, Lord. Well, that's all right. My friends will join me in hell. It's fine.
I'll be driving the bus at this
All right.
point.
I'll probably
Drive this sucker right off a cliff.
Probably be the one getting thrown under the wheels. I'm always getting thrown in front of the bus.
So let's have a topic that we can argue about. You were all piss and vinegar to begin with, like, oh, we're gonna, and now you're like,
I've already beat the shit out of you. I'm sure you've got spatula marks.
I don't even feel it.
It's because it's gone numb.
For whatever reason, yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt.
What age do you think it's okay for your teenagers, whether they're boy or girl, to date, and is it different for a boy or girl?
38.
Wrong answer.
38.
Wrong answer. I keep telling my future son-in-law this too. It's like, when she's 30, she won't even be living probably in the same state. He's like, I'll put a tracker on her car. Like, no.
That's a little excessive, but yeah, I know people that have done it.
Like when I was growing up, I wasn't allowed to, at 16 we could group date, with a big group of people, like going to the movies or something like that. But I wasn't allowed to go anywhere with anyone until I was 17, almost 18 years old. And my daughter was 16, 17 before she was ever allowed to actually go on a date.
I would say, I mean,
and my son hates me, but it's the same for him.
When they're teenagers,
no.
I mean, if they're just going to the movies or whatever, and somebody's driving them, then that's a little different. But like somebody come pick you up and take her out.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. It's scary.
16, I'm thinking. I don't know, what age can they get their license now?
16.
Is it 16
mm-hmm.
still? And Olivia just got her license, and I am asking this question. But,
kids get it at different ages. They just had a thing on the news where kids aren't even getting their licenses anymore because they don't need them.
Yeah.
They can sit at home on the Xbox or on their phones and talk to everybody. Because before it was you had to drive to go see your friends.
Well, you had to track people down.
Yeah.
There was no cell phones like, he ain't home. Shit, let's go see if he's up at City. Let's go see if he's here, there,
we'll see
or
if this
wherever.
other person's home.
Yeah. You drove around looking for people.
Now you just send a group message going, where in the hell is everybody at?
Yeah.
But, I do, and I think there are some people that want to argue that, a guy can, date you, or it's less scary for guys. No. Like, I am, I guess, more scared about my son dating. Maybe it's because he's my baby. Maybe that's it. But, it's like, I'm a girl, so I know the brainwaves that some of them have.
Right.
You know, or whoever he dates. It's just like, I don't know. I guess as long as everyone's careful, but it's still going to be 16 or 17, son, as I'm looking you dead in your eye. No sooner. You're only 13. Ha ha ha. Mommy's mean.
I might be able to talk her into 14 for you.
Nope.
Yeah.
No. That's a hard line right there.
Yeah, I think 14. I think I can talk you into 14.
Nope.
Pretty sure.
Nope.
I bet I'm going to get my argument. 14.
Nope.
14 for you.
Nope.
14, why not?
16.
Why not?
Because I said so.
Why not?
Because I said so.
Why? What age were you when you started dating?
17.
17?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, bud, you're screwed.
Yeah.
I got nothing to work with here.
My brother was 24 when he started dating, so there's that. Well, all right, guys. Well, we're winding down this another lovely evening, and we'll be back next week. We do have an email that I want to give you. Motherfucker, you hit me.
I
with
got
that.
one round left.
All right. We do have an email. If you have any requests, comments, anything like that, music or otherwise, or you know, just different subjects you want to talk about, anything that's important to you, or you just think would be funny to hear us go over.
$10, I can take that pen out of her hand.
Okay. Anyways.
I didn't even shoot.
I don't care. He said, she said, out of my tit.
That's right.
At the gpnnetwork.com. That is the email address. Text at 765.
Oh, I got two more.
278-8661. Go to the Facebook GPR he said she said.com and leave us messages there. And if Jeremy is still alive next week, we'll be on.
Where do you want this one?
And we'll discuss it. I can tell you where it's going to go here in about a minute. All right, guys. Have a blessed, wonderful evening. You son of a... And we'll see you next week.
One more. One more.